Oh, you have been patient long enough. Okay, you have been patient long enough, my gorgeous Pisces, indeed. Your patience is about to pay off. Now, right at the beginning of this week, something that was delayed in your life, it's about to manifest. You have been waiting for some kind of news that you needed to be patient about, and this particular news that you were waiting for such a long time, affected you in so many different ways, because at the same time the bottom line is here that it did put you like in such a situation where you couldn't really move on with your life. So this delayed news, that you needed patience for initially, was something very, very important to you. So maybe I should have started this reading with the fact that there is going to be a very, very important news that you are going to have, and this important news is really going to surprise you, but it's like almost as if you kind of lost your hope when it comes to this, and because it's been such a long time. So this really good news that you are going to have, this in itself you're going to find extremely, extremely rewarding, but at the same time you are going to become so curious in order to kind of like explore something that came with it as well, because at the same time, as soon as you become aware of this news, there is something else that is going to be on your mind that you immediately you will want to explore, but you will not know that this is an integral part of your spiritual journey, and this what is going to be on your mind at the same time as some kind of idea realization. It's also missing in your life right now. Why? Because this is something that it's not only missing in your life, but also it's going to make you feel so much more complete, but it's also on another hand going to speed up the progress and the process as well. So it's about the delayed news that you're going to have, and this in itself, it's going to now. So it's all started with this delayed news, my gorgeous Pisces, that you're going to have. So now you will know. So what you're going to do with that news now? Well, it's all boiling to this particular thing. You're going to need to be able to make a really important decision. A really important decision. And you will know exactly what I mean. There is only one way out of this. There is only one response that you can have here. And the only decision that you need to kind of like make here when you're making this decision, you need to remember to think about traditional values. Okay? Listen to me very carefully. You need to kind of keep it cool, you need to keep it simple, and you need to think about some kind of traditional values. Okay, so it's all going to start with an amazing news which is going to surprise you, and this news is going to make you aware of the fact that now this is the time of progress in your life. You will be able to make an important decision, but when it comes to that important decision, you need to really kind of step back just for a second, look at the big picture and think about traditional values. Because I know that there is so much that is going to be on your mind, things that you have been through lately, so many realizations, so many ideas, but you need to really ground yourself, recenter yourself a little bit, step back just for a second, and remember that I said that you need to, when you're making this decision, remember about focusing on traditional values. This is more important than ever. At the same time, my gorgeous Pisces, when it comes to the beginning of this week, you also need to work on some kind of addiction. You need to work on some kind of addiction, and I don't need to tell you this. This addiction is going to make itself known by itself at around the beginning of this week. I'm not saying that you're like a junkie or something. Please don't get me wrong. When I say that you need to work on some kind of addiction nowadays come in million different ways. You know, you could be addicted to absolutely anything that is affecting your balance, and that it's making you kind of not see things clearly, that is like kind of making, like, you know, the energy much darker and murkier, and it's just kind of affecting your ability to actually it's affecting your stability, it's affecting your structure in life, it's affecting your own ability to make important decisions, it's affecting your own logic, you know, it's affecting your practicality. So something is affecting your stability to the point where you really need to establish what this is, and you need to start working on this particular addiction. And you can have a go at me now, no, I haven't got any addictions. You know what, let me tell you something. You can also be addicted to the internet. Like, you know, maybe spending, and lots of people are, maybe spending a lot of time on the internet. It's very unhealthy. It's really bad. It's like very toxic in so many different ways, and it's draining your energy. And on top of that, if you are, for example, addicted to the internet, you know, there's so many dark and negative and aggressive and violent, horrible things out there. And people are almost getting used to this violence, this aggression, this darkness that's been plastered on us on every single day, you know, every single day on daily basis. And this in itself, it's done by design, of course, but you need to come out of that. For example, if you are, why am I trying to explain here that if you are addicted to the internet, this is going to affect you in so many different ways, because people don't even realize that all these things kind of get, you know, to the back of your subconscious mind, and they're affecting you. They're affecting your self-esteem. They're making you feel fearful. They're making you feel scared. They're making you feel negative. They're making you feel depressed. They're making you feel sad. And very often, 99% of the thing, people don't even realize that it's maybe coming from the internet, because, you know, it's not all pink, blue and purple. You know what I mean? What I said, it's lots of violence, lots of negativity, lots of sadness. And then that kind of like really, you know, it does kind of plant itself, you know, within our energy fields, and it's affecting us. So my point here is that, you know, you just kind of need to understand that when I say that you have an addiction, that you need to work on it, I know for the fact that this is affecting your stability, but I also know for the fact that at around the beginning of this week, this like kind of addiction is going to become absolutely obvious. So that is going to give you the chance and opportunity to work on it, and most importantly, to start the process of healing. All you need to do to start with is just to kind of establish what this is, and this in itself is just gonna already start making you feel so much better. On another hand, try to drink as much water as you possibly can. Try to detoxify yourself by drinking lots of water throughout this week. You're going to find this very, very beneficial, my gorgeous Piscelini, especially when it comes to your sign. And it's also going to be superb for you to flush out the toxins out of the system, and it's going to reflect on your energy levels like so much. So this is something I need you to make you aware of. Maybe you are not drinking enough water, maybe you haven't been drinking enough water, you know, lately, but it's just like kind of, you really need to kind of drink lots of water, because in terms of spirituality, this is something that it's also gonna kind of be so beneficial for you, because at the same time it is gonna, you know, gonna bring so much energy to you, and it's also gonna kind of raise your vibration at a time when you actually need it the most. So please do remember this, okay? Very important indeed. And also, my gorgeous Piscelini, at around the beginning of this week, you may feel a little bit of like kind of you may, again, it's going to sound weird, I know, but you are going to feel like almost as if maybe some kind of something is around you, some kind of negativity or negative energy is around you, or you may feel like some kind of unusual or strange spirit, and some kind of entity that is actually draining your energy. And I can see this within your home, within your immediate environment, or I can see this also where you're spending lots of time. So maybe it's like your office, maybe it's at work, you know, but you will know where am I talking about this, because you will kind of almost instantly as soon as you hear this reading, you will be able to project this, what I just said, and it's almost immediately, it's going to either bring your mind to your home or to your immediate environment. You will know that, through your subconscious mind, you will get to the right destination. What am I actually talking about? But somewhere around you, there is going to be quite a negative spirit at the beginning of this week, and I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that. This spirit, it can only kind of drain your energy and just kind of make you feel more tired more often than normal. So my bottom line is, you need to go with your initial feeling, or maybe even if you try to kind of like a smudge your home, both your home and the working area, like the office, if you are spending lots of time somewhere else in the office, for example, or it's your home. But the bottom line is, what am I trying to say here? Please try to take a dry sage and just get rid of the negative energy within your environment, and get rid of that negative entity as well. I said, and I'm going to repeat, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to do something very significant here, which is going to help you to get rid of the negative energy, not only when it comes to your immediate environment or your working place, but it's also at the same time going to help you to really get rid of the negative energy within you. And even if you kind of feel, after you smudge your home with a dry sage, you burn dry sage, you know what I mean? You'd like close all the windows in every single window in your home. First close it, and then you take a dry sage, you take a little sauce underneath, and then you burn a little bit of dry sage, and you walk into every single room in the house, and you say a little mantra, you say a little prayer, you say a little daily affirmation, or you don't say anything. It just really depends, how you're gonna feel. We as a spiritual beings, we are very complex. As much as we are the same, we are very different as well. So it really depends how you feel. So first you close all the windows, then you just go into every single room in the house, then you smudge with a dry sage, and just go to every single room, and then at the end you just open the window, and as the smoke goes through the windows, the negative energy, it's also gonna go, bye darling, and the negative entity, it's also gonna go at the same time, you see. And if you feel like really tired and drained the next day, this is actually a really good sign, because it means that you managed to accumulate the certain amount of negative energy within. So this is only going to make you feel so much better. So this is something that I highly suggest you to use, something like a dry sage, and just basically smudge your home as well. And also, my gorgeous Piscelini, at around the beginning of this week, you are actually going to, you're going to kind of realize, first of all, you're going to see how long, you're going to kind of think like how long you've been feeling trapped, how long you've been feeling confined, and that in itself made you feel self-limited, especially for the last 12 weeks, very much so. And that was keep on making you uncertain when you should be certain, and that was affecting you in such a way where you kind of felt a lack of direction as well. And this is kind of needing a release now, and this is, you need to let something go. You need to make an important sacrifice here, because it's affecting you in such a way where you had a lack of direction for way too long. And now, you know what, it's like this sacrifice that you are going to become aware of. This is nothing bad, and it's nothing negative. It's actually something that you're going to become aware of at that moment in time. At the beginning of this week, you will know which sacrifice do you need to make in order to move on with your life. But most importantly, you are going to have a quite interesting conversation with someone about this, somebody very close to you, like a friend or family member, and somebody's going to give you such a unique viewpoint as well. And this unique viewpoint that you're going to hear about this problem that you have, you first of all, you're going to find it ridiculous, but then as the time goes by, it's going to make more sense and more sense and more sense. And that unique viewpoint that you're going to have through somebody in your life, because you're going to be speaking to somebody who's so close to you, about you needing release, and about you having a lack of direction, and about that sacrifice that you're going to need to make. By the same time, when you speak to someone, this is like either great friend or a family member, someone really amazing in your life, they are going to give you their own unique viewpoint. And this is, first of all, something that you're going to find absolutely ridiculous. But then again, that is just like, as the time goes by, within the next few days, you're going to realize that now it's time to stand up for yourself, and now it's time to be clear about what you want and what you need. So this is so important, because it is going to lead towards a rather intelligent choice in your life. You know, it's all leading towards even further. It's not only about that now it's time to stand up for yourself and be clear about what you want and need. This is further gonna lead towards you wanting to make a really big change. And even more so, you're gonna become aware of a very, very interesting opportunity that you're gonna need to jump in, like literally immediately. You're gonna need to be direct, you're gonna need to be assertive, you're gonna need to be honest, you're gonna need to be quick, my gorgeous Pisces, and at the same time, you know, this is really going to kind of help you so much to understand something very special about yourself, especially when it comes to like what you know, again, what you want and what you need. This is going to confirm again to you so much what you want and what you need, because the happiness and optimism you're going to feel here, you will not want to part with. So absolutely brilliant indeed. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Pisces, you know, this is going to be really, really great here, because, you know, you are really going to become aware of the fact that, you know, there are certain things that are coming to fruition, and these certain things that are coming to fruition, this is not going to be huge. This is not going to be like, oh my God, massive. No, baby, no. It is only going to be something tiny. It is only going to be something little, but it's important. It's important because that in itself, it's going to bring you a chance. It's gonna remind you of a certain chance. And as soon as you become aware of that chance, you're gonna think a lot about your destiny. You're gonna think a lot about karma. You're gonna think a lot about the fact that now, you know, it's a lot about decisive moments in life, you know, and at the same time, you are going to realize, you know, when it comes to that chance, this is bringing you an important chance that you almost kind of forgot about. And now this is going to really open your eyes. It's going to make you feel so happy, and it's also going to make you realize that after this moment, you know, no obstacle is going to stop you now, because it's more about a very, very much so a mind-blowing lesson that you have learned with this and realized with this. And this is going back, you know, within the last 2 or 3 years, things that have been happening and going on in your life. It's just something that it's really going to surprise you in a good way, this chance, you know, that you're actually going to have. And this is going to come in a form of you kind of realizing that the certain things are coming to fruition. So it's not going to be like something massive and enormous, but it's more about the actual chance that this is actually bringing to you, which you kind of thought that it's actually not even going to happen to you anymore. So this is going to be brilliant, but it's more about karma, and it's more about this mind-blowing lesson that you have learned about your life, about yourself, about the world around you, and most importantly about the importance of staying true to yourself, by following your intuition, by listening to the voice within, and most importantly by following the light. Do not follow the darkness, follow the light. Okay, so it's all about, you know, you realizing no obstacle, my God, is going to absolutely stop you now whatsoever, you know. This is like about a basically very important choice, which is now going to align you with your life purpose, my gorgeous Pisces. Listen to me very carefully. This is not just any kind of big mama. This is the giant mama. This is like gonna lead towards like an absolutely mind-blowing choice, which is now aligning you with your life purpose. It's like, oh my God. And at around that time, And it's always like that. It's always like that when it comes to karma, when it comes to big life changes, when it comes to one stage comes to an end, another stage pops up. It's life. We keep going through life, moving on, you know, with life. But at the same time, it's always the same, isn't it? It's going to be on your mind that you need to release. Somebody, suddenly you're going to be reminded just completely out of blue about someone who you still feel so angry about. And you're going to be like, why am I thinking about this person right now? And just suddenly it's going to come to you, you know? And this is about forgiving to someone. You need to forgive something to someone. And again, it's not about that person. It's about you releasing yourself. It's about you moving on. And realizing if you don't, then you're only going to slow yourself down. That means that you don't understand how powerful your spirit is. And it's going to be keep on happening and happening over and over again until you understand that you're more powerful than you can possibly imagine. A little forgiveness to someone goes a long way. It's not about them, it's about you. Okay? And by the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Pisces, you know, it's like about so much inspiration here. So much inspiration here to be true to yourself, to stay true to yourself. It's the situation you're going to be dealing with. So much inspiration in order to, you're going to need to come clean. You are going to need to confess something. You're going to need to come clean, okay? And that is so important for you to understand, because otherwise you're not going to be able to turn over new leaf. Okay, so it's like kind of consciousness, you know, conscious is like kind of kicking in now at this stage of your life. So you're not going, you need to come out with clean with something, because otherwise you're not going to be able to turn over new leaf. This is very, very important, because it's in itself, it's going to show your resilience. It is going to show your resilience yet again. So please, 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 you need to like kind of work on this as well. Okay, and also when it comes to the last part of this week, you know, somebody is going to kind of try to wind you up. Somebody is going to be a little bit rude to you, and then you're going to realize, you know, that maybe it's like kind of you need to really be very careful about who you let into your life, but you also need to be very careful about who do you mingle with, you know, because if we are working with a group of people who are very negative, very low and very down, this is going to reflect on us in such a way where we're going to become kind of low in our energy and vibration. So you're going to realize that you're going to maybe need to move on from the certain maybe group of people, or this is just going to be like a sign and indication that you need to move on from somewhere, you know, or someone. So someone who's going to kind of wind you up and somebody who's going to be a little bit rude to you, it's not about the fact that this is going to like, oh my God, it's going to surprise you so much. No, baby, no. But it is going to be a clear sign and indication that you need to move on from something. And this is the time of a powerful transition. This is the time of a powerful transformation, my gorgeous Pisces, because now this is all leading towards much calmer waters. This is leading towards an important healing healing progress in your life, and it's all about moving on, and most importantly moving forward. I'm not saying that you need to do something then and there, but as soon as you kind of establish this, as soon as you realize this, as soon as you kind of make some kind of decision here about it. I'm not saying that you need to do that right now, but it's more about being honest with yourself, what has actually come to an end. At the same time, you need to understand, as soon as you start thinking about it, you're already creating this kind of like a really interesting beginning here. But it's more about you understanding that this is going to lead, whatever comes after, whatever comes next, when you move on here, it's going to come with much calmer waters. It's going to bring healing progress. It's going to help you to move on. And it's most importantly going to be keep on moving you forward, you know, because things are about to come down for you. It's a calm after a storm, my gorgeous Pisces. And this is also going to lead towards a very, very interesting financial new beginning, which is going to like kind of be pretty much so around the financial opportunities, you know, and that in itself it's really going to make you feel really excited, because you are going to become aware of a very, very new, brand new adventure in your life. So now, my gorgeous Piscelini, I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards, and I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card of the week. Okay, so what is going to be a tarot card of the week? What is going to be a tarot card of the week, my gorgeous Piscelini? Ooh la la! You see, somebody is going to inspire you. There is a specific person who is going to inspire you this week so much. And that particular person who is going to inspire you this week so much, it's also like kind of going to, like, you know, it's going to remind you of what you want in life. And this is going to be brilliant. So when it comes to this particular person, it's more about someone being brutally honest with you. Somebody who is in your life. This is nothing to do with the situation at the end, but this is to do with somebody who's very close to you. Somebody like a family member or a partner. It's going to bring you a bit of a shaky momenty, because they are going to highlight something that you are just not doing, something that you are only talking about, and something that you've been only talking about for way too long. And these people are so precious when it comes to our lives, because almost as if you are going to be reminded of something that's important to you, but you're also at the same time going to be reminded of how important these people in our lives are. At the time when they mention this to us, we may feel a bit defensive, like, oh, you know what I mean, oh, don't talk to me like that, or something like that. We may feel a little bit defensive, or a little bit offensive, but very soon after we realize that, you know, it's like our own frustration sometimes comes out on those people that are the closest to us, and then it feels differently, it rings differently, and these people are like a blessing in our lives. So someone is really going to remind you of you wanting to do something so important to you, so personal to you, so significant to you. It's something very personal that you should do, that you're going to be reminded by this person. And this is something I need you to really kind of understand, that it's important, because it is at the same time going to speed up so much in your life as well. Okay, very, very important, my gorgeous Piscelini, indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Pisces, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.